Hey guys, Foxdrop here with a video on 5 mistakes that you make without realizing. Today we'll be taking a look at the unseen errors, which we all know are the deadliest kind of errors. These will be things that you don't necessarily identify as mistakes because they're not specific misplays, they're more like things that you could have or should have done that you didn't do. Things that if you had done you would be better off, and of course therefore if you can equip these into your arsenal you'll become a better player and you'll have access to more of that juicy elo. Before we get cracking with the video, I just want to address the obvious problem we've got going on here, and that is I know my beautiful face is not going to be in this video. I know I can hear you guys crying already, but please just hold on. Hear me out. There is currently a pretty big heat wave going on in England and I am way too hot to put on my green screen to turn on all those lights. It's going to kill me. Please forgive me. I know just how painful that's going to be for some of you guys, but please just... I hope I don't ruin your day too much, and I hope you can forgive me. But anyway, I'm done chatting shit for now. We can move on to the important things and getting right into the first point for this video. The first thing that you do wrong that you don't realize is to do with counter ganking. By the way, not every single point is going to be just from a jungle perspective, but this specific one does apply to the junglers. And this one is more about being in the right place at the right time. I'm sure if there are any jungle mains watching this video, you've probably experienced at least once the frustrations of games where it seems like your teammates just can't hold their own and they keep feeding. Especially if your allies keep getting ganked all the time, and if you see those ganks coming as being quite obvious, it can be quite annoying when you feel like, listen mate, we know this is going to happen, yet you're letting it happen anyway and you're still dying, what's going on? And instead of thinking of your allies as a bit of an idiot, maybe instead of them just getting caught and dying, you can show up and help them to turn the tides. If your teammate is getting ganked a lot, then you can just set up some vision so you know the ganks are coming in, or when you think a gank might happen, which is usually to do with how far pushed out he is, how much health he's on, the position of the minion waves, then you can try and read the enemy's gank and set up for a counter gank. If you can be in position for when the enemy ganks so that you can turn that gank, then instead of having a feeding ally, you've actually not only protected them, but you've also got something out of the enemy team as well. Now the total art of doing counter ganks is a lot more complex than what I could describe in this video. So if you want to have a separate video on how to counter gank, let me know down below in the comments or leave a cheeky like on this video, and if I see there's a lot of positive feedback, I'll go ahead and make it. And before you guys complain that I'm fishing for likes, the reason why I do that thing is because making a video on counter ganking would take a lot of preparation and a lot of time because it is quite a complex topic. So for me to actually gather that concept and mold it into video format, it's not as easy as it sounds. So I don't want to waste my time. If you guys don't care about that, there's no point me spending extra time doing it, but yeah. But anyway, moving on to our second point of a mistake that you don't realize you're making is going to be your level 1 invades. Now I probably shouldn't be talking too much about this because I am the laziest player in the world and I never do level 1 invades just because I can't be asked. I can't be asked to move at level 1. Like, I'd rather just stand around in my jungle, just chill out and not be bothered to do anything. But honestly, level 1 invades are a really solid way to catch people off guards because there are a lot of people like me who are just too lazy to pay attention at level 1. Hell, even if they're not too lazy, maybe they just went AFK, maybe they weren't expecting the invade. Like, there's a lot of free picking victims for you to go for in level 1 invades. And really, it doesn't even matter about what team comp you have. It doesn't matter if you've got an awesome level 1 champion like Blitzcrank or Morgana or Braum. It doesn't matter if you have a terrible level 1 team comp. Really, the whole reason why level 1 invades work is kind of just getting the element of surprise on the enemy team. So you can do it with whatever champions you want. The important thing is that you're grouped up, you're coordinated when you do it. And yeah, coordination and solo queue don't really go together too well, but to be honest, you don't need that much coordination, you just need to be together and it's not that hard to do that. I know you probably think your solo queue teammates are too stupid to even do that, but trust me, just spam ping somewhere in the enemy jungle and then everyone at level 1 will bomb it down there more often than not. So if you're not lazy, then it's really easy for you to get summoners at level 1. You can also get first bloods as well. And if people do lose their summoners, that's another thing you can exploit. So if you're the jungler and one of the enemy players doesn't have their flash, then well, you know which lane you should camp in the early game. And if you're bot lane and you have a summon advantage over the enemy team, then that opens up avenues for you to be aggressive early on as well. Our third mistake that you may not be aware that you're making is to do with your wards and ward placements. Now to fully explain why this point is so important, I'm going to have to get a little bit deep on you guys here, okay? Not Mariana Trench level deep and nothing that you're going to have to say no homo to afterwards, but just bear with me here, okay? So anytime in life that you want to make a decision, The best decisions you can make are those which you've had a lot of information to make the decision upon. So if I tell you that for lunch I either want a peanut butter sandwich or a ghost pepper taco, or a margarita pizza, and I tell you that one of those things I really love and the other two I really hate. Now, if that's all the information you have, you're not going to know which one it is that you should choose for me. However, if I gave you more information and I told you that I was deathly allergic to peanuts and that anytime I eat spicy food I pass out, then it would be a pretty easy choice for you to make a good decision and choose the margarita pizza. But if I told you that I was allergic to cheese and I actually really love hot spicy food, then the ghost pepper taco would be the obvious choice. You see, making decisions is all about the information that you have, and it's the exact same about having good vision in League of Legends. Vision is all about giving you more information, and like I just said, the more information you have, the better decisions you make. So say you have vision on the enemy jungler, you'll know when it's a safe time for you to go aggressive or not. If the enemy jungler is nearby, you probably don't want to go too deep because he's just going to turn up and kill you. But if he isn't too nearby, then maybe you can do something aggressive. Likewise, if you've got wards so you can see when the enemy mid laner is going to roam, it's pretty much the same thing. But specifically for this point, I wanted to talk more about good vision and smart warding. Again, this is another topic that will take a whole video just to explain by itself. But the long and short of it is just think about the wards you're putting down and why you're putting them down. If you know, for example, that your minion wave is about to push hard into the enemy's favor, that is a good time to make sure you have good vision down. Likewise, if the enemy minion wave is pushing into you and you're not all that healthy and you think there is a risk of you getting dove, then having good vision to prevent that is also smart vision. It may sound really obvious, but if you ward deep when the lane is actually pushing into you and you're not going to be pushing out, or you ward to prevent a dive when there's no threat of a dive happening at all, like that's a bad use of your vision. That's not smart warding, and it's also opportunity cost as well. You can't just put down unlimited wards, so vision you gain in one area is vision you'll lose in another area. So it's really important that you choose good spots to put down your wards. Before we move on to our penultimate points, I just want to thank you guys for watching so far. I hope you're enjoying the video. I hope you've had a good day as well. It's been really hot, like I say, in England, so I was just sitting outside eating my breakfast in the sun. That was really nice. Then I played a bit of WoW, then I ate more food, and here we are. So I've had a pretty good day, but what about you? How's your day been? Anyway, our next point is somewhat similar to the first one we made, but more from a laner's perspective. It's about roaming. Say you're sitting in your lane and you're farming up and you're getting almost perfect CS. Now on the surface that sounds pretty good, right? Perfect CS, holy crap, that's really nice. And by itself, yeah, that's good, that's pretty good. However, what if there are some situations where you could maybe lose 10 CS or so, but actually get a kill in a different lane? Maybe not even a kill, maybe some summoners, whatever it is. Whereas on the surface, that perfect CS does seem pretty, well, perfect. You may have actually been making some mistakes that you don't realize, which is, you know, pretty good point to make considering that is the exact title of this video. So not just tunneling on for the CS, not just going for the farm and getting yourself fed, maybe instead you can look around on the minimap and see what lanes are able to be impacted upon. Impacted upon was probably the clunkiest way I could have described that, but you know what I mean. Generally speaking, it's really smart of you to roam to other lanes and to help them out, because you yourself should be capable of looking after yourself. So really, it's only your allies that are going to be shitting the bed, and so they're the people you need to look after and give a lot of attention to. It's better to have a laner who has like 50 CS but he's also helped out his other lanes than have that same laner be on like 70 or even 80 CS but hasn't helped out at all. You do have to be a bit smart with it, of course, because it's not as simple as I say. There are some champions that are better at roaming, there are some champions who are really terrible at roaming, but generally speaking it is a good idea as a rule of thumb to be helping out your teammates where you can. And finally, moving on to our last point here of a mistake that you'll be making without realizing, it is trying to help someone that is beyond help. This is a bit of a different point from the previous ones, because whereas you can see the immediate failure on your screen, i.e. the wasted time, this is something which you won't be recognizing as a mistake of your own, and instead will just blame the person who got in trouble in the first place. Like, yeah, maybe someone shouldn't have got caught out, or yeah, maybe this person shouldn't be getting destroyed in lane, but if you try and help someone, that is just a terrible idea for you to help. Maybe someone gets caught out and then you try and help them, and instead of just one person dying, you all die and then you lose Baron. Like, yeah, they fucked up, but you shouldn't have stayed and you shouldn't have tried to help that person when you should have just let them go. And similarly for a jungler as well, if a lane is doing really poorly and you try and help them but it's just not happening, you can try and blame the laner for being awful and just losing their lane really hard, but at the same time you also have to take some responsibility for wasting your time trying to help them. Like in general for solo queue, if you're not able to marginalize the mistakes from your allies, then some of that fault lies with you. But either way, that's all I want to say for this video, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out the t-shirts that are still on sale for a few more days. But most importantly, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give me that cheeky thumbs up. You can subscribe to me for more educational league content. You can find me on Facebook, on Twitter, and catch me streaming at twitch.tv/Foxdrop. All those links are down below in the description, boys and girls. But most importantly, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.